or Electric Motor Division, General Motors Corporation, Maintenance Instruction, MI 1756, Lubrication Specifications, including engines and governors. Introduction, nor necessity of the correcting lubricant with a moving part with a piece of apparatus is apparent with this lubricant restriction, therefore confine a list of specification particular lubricants excluding engine and governor oils, which are best suited for reference application. All-purpose lubricating oil, all used traction motor support bearings, axle journal bearings, truck center. Alright, so traction motor support bearings, axle journal bearings, truck center bearings, method of test, Vicasi, Sable, Universe, second at 100 degrees, seconds at 200 degrees, flashpoint, pour point, Pretnell, insolvable. General comments: for extremely cold weather operations, some of the northern areas of the maximum pour point must be lowered. Accordingly, however, do not believe it advised leave to permit pour point to go above 0 degrees Fahrenheit, even if the weather is warm. To cover the difficulty of the main advantage of having a single all-purpose lubricant oil when extremely the temperature of it is likely to be encountered is apparent that the two different all-purpose oils must be used seasonally. Two lubricating oil may be straight mineral turbine type of the using oxidation inhibitor of the performance sense for the oil should have the high resistance to oxidation, even the additional additive to pour point depression anti-foam extreme pressure for the entirely optional no filler graphite should be employed in the oil. Depending on some of the nature of the lubricating oil employed, lubricate may be classed either the SAE 20 or 30. Air compressor lubricating oil property with a deep crankcase type air compressor method test ASTM limits Vicasi Sable University D18 2176 4245 maximum minimum pour point D97 at 0 degrees Fahrenheit maximum rusting distilled water D665 no rust defined with the SA10 turbine type of the oil contained with the anti-thrust anti-oxidation anti-foam inhibitors none of the additive of the contained polar type of additive that will prevent piston rings from seating rapidly. Some of the deep crankcase compressors use the SA30 oil. The SA10 the oil may be applied with these deep crankcase compressors provided with the compressor being qualified with one of the good cylinders piston rings. However, the compressor originally started SA10 oil should not be changed to another grade. All other deep crankcase type air compressors, Vicasi Sable University D88 2160 58 70 maximum, pour pent 97 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit maximum, rigid distilled water D665 no rust. Pour point Vicasi with the limited to specify the suitable for the average temperature condition of the lower ambient temperature of the 0 degrees Fahrenheit below the normal encountered lubricant have the lower pour point Vicasi should be used. Seal and chain with may be required precaution particularly important when the locomotives are normally shut down in a long period of time with no provisions keeping the air compressor warm. Vicasi limitation includes oil should be classified with the SAE30 oil with a heavy SA20. Air compressor lubricating oil should be mineral type of providing product having the rust oxidation inhibitors. Some of the turbine type of the detergent type oil for the oils contain polar type of additive that should not be employed. Auxiliary drive gear unit splicer type gearbox lubricant used in the gearbox should comply with the requirements of Society of the Automotive Engineers SAE 90 mild type at extreme pressure for the gear. Lubricant oil should be chained with the interval specified with the applicable schedule maintenance program. Drive shaft lubricant used with the drive shaft should be assembly to comply with all the requirements of Society of the Automotive Engineers SAE 250 regular type gear lubricant. General lubrication recommendation. Phone general lubrication information intended used in instance with no other specifically maintenance instruction for the covering of the parts available to specify MI should be consulted would be available to since for provide with more detailed information maintenance period requirement. Particular attention called to the applicable scheduled maintenance program to be used in conjunction with the maintenance instruction. Air compressor crank oil reference MI refer to specifically maintenance instruction complete information. Underloaded petroladium applied with the disassembled battery terminals. Petroladium maintain liberal coating in the terminals. Bell King type SA10E air engine oil refill reservoir capacity half pint with the air engine grease on plunger assembly. Vilco SA10 air gate engine grease. Have a few drops of oil with the air engine grease on plunger at assembly. Prime Salem lithium number NLGI number 2 grease O-rings lightly. Blower traction motor Chevron grease SR1 2 SRI2 the seal gear grease bearings were replaced with the overhaul unit. Exchange traction motor SAE 40 oil check level add oil if required. Traction motor belt drive bearing ball bearing grease add small quantity of the shaft of the bearings. Dynamic motor brake motor upon fan end bearing Chevron grease SRI2 the sealed grease bearings were replaced overhaul unit. Exchange The commuter end bearing standard oil, super mill M125 grease, air brake equipment, brake cylinder grease, AAR M91442, oil rings, packing ring, silicone lubricant MLIG for the 343B, piston ring, slide valve, triple valve oil. 7th center boring truck, phenomenal or metal, all-purpose lubricating oil, reference and maintenance oil instruction. Apply oil 1/8 of an inch above the plate with truck. Application control sand cam type, movable camshaft with electrical equipment grease. Apply shaft with a reassembly. Defrost motor, electrical cap heater, Chevron grease, SRI tube with the replaced bearings, overhaul unit exchange, fan cooling. Electric drive grease, lubricated Chevron grease, SR 1-2, the replace sealed bearings, overhaul unit exchange, oil, lubricated engine oil, same oil used for the engine, oil to the top of the filler pipe, mechanical drive grease, lubricated NLGI number 2 EP lithium grease, add a small amount of grease, oil lubricated engine with a small oil used in the engine filled with the overflow plug, the fan drive with the export locomotive gearbox, SAE 40 oil, SAE 30 air compressor oil, maintain light level at site, glass rotor seal oil type light oil, remove kerneled oiler and add 4 to 5 drops of oil, bearing seal with lower bearings lubricated by splash, replace sealed bearings and overhaul traction motor, gear cage, Texaco TMGL 7500, lithium soap thickened, gear lubricant, maintain lubricant level, gear case full tooth dip, prevent bright gear teeth under low ambient temperatures when except for the trailing occurs thin within the car, oil is required. Felt seats, SAE 30 oil, saturate seats on seals on assembly, generators, auxiliary Chevron grease, SRI 2, replace pack bearings, overhaul unit exchange, main generator EMD, design shell Caprina, RA3 grease, refer to specific main instruction for complete information, handbrake light oil, apply small amounts of usage required, hardware general light oil sparing is necessary, high voltage cabinet silicone grease, apply sparingly to seals, heater, cooling, and lube oil system, pump motor, ball bearing type, ball bearing grease, clean, repack bearing, sealed bearing type, sealed, sleeve bearing, SAE 10, oil, apply oil to sleeve bearings, drive, cup grease, SAE 20, apply grease to the varic fitting, fill grease can 2 1/4 inch below the shaft opening of the center of the gauge, SAE 20 oil, add oil is required. Journal boxes, roller bearings, oil, lubricated and purpose lubricating, oil, reference and maintenance instruction, maintain full plug level at all gauges, roller bearings, grease located at ARCL L300, Roco, lube RR number 1. See specification instruction, complete information, friction bearing, all-purpose lubricant, oil, reference and maintenance instruction, keep waste soaked in oil. 19 motors, traction motor, armature bearing, grease seal with a shell Caprina RA3 grease, see specification, maintenance instruction, complete information, traction motor, support bearings, suspension greasing, suspension bearings, all-purpose lubricant, oil reference and maintenance specified maintenance instruction, and the information on traction motors. Hot water cab heater motor, Chevron grease, SRI 2 for the replace overhaul unit exchange, layover, cab heater blower motor, SAA 20 oil sparing 6 to 7 drops, fuel pump motor, Chevron grease, SRI 2, replace bearings, overhaul unit exchange, train control, main generator, Chevron grease, SRI 2, replace bearings, overhaul unit exchange, 20 recorder speed, see manufacturer bulletins, complete details, Chicago pneumatic hydro pump, CP recording, circulating oil, maintains level of the mark on side of the glass, warm gearbox, light grease refill, reversing, making light grease, add the level of the plug, open right angle to drive with a flexible cable, low temperature grease as required, Barco reader adjustment, SA10, except SER model, which has been pre-lubricated, bearings maintained, oil level is required, link cable shaft, low temperature grease, lubricating is required. Wheel diameter compensator box, SA90 oil, add oil is necessary. The axle drive head, SA90 fill level of the filler opening. Shutter linkage light oil applied sparingly to moving the pin bearing. Shutter aid, air cylinder, graphite, silicone base, lubricant. Apply cylinder walls, overhaul, throttle linkage light oil, the pair sparingly. Windshield wiper, special air push grease. Apply cylinder walls sparingly to overhaul. Heated end drive gearbox, SA30 air compressor oil, maintain level in the center of the slight glass, 18 gallons nominal, 26 head end generator rear bearing, SA30 air compressor oil, lubricant supplied with the gearbox. Lubricant reference, all-purpose lubricating oil, all-year car oil, speed recorder oil, petroleum jelly, Chevron grease, Shell, Caprina, RA3 grease, air engine grease, low-temperature grease, electrical equipment grease, and LGI. Number 2, EP, lithium grease, special air push grease, silicone grease, silicone lubricant, triple valve oil, molybdenum disulfide, graphite-based lubricant, standard oil, super mill 125, Humboldt airpin, RB300, Texaco number 1909H, ARCOL 300, Roco Lube RR number 1, Formula LB 1014. Alright, that was Electric Motor Division, General Motors Corporation Maintenance Instruction and Lubricating Specification, excluding engines and governor, main instruction 1756.